Come on, Team Cowboys!
Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan, and over on TikTok. If you're not following me on TikTok, I highly suggest that you go follow your man on TikTok. But I got a message from day one of the Angry Cowboys fan YouTube channel, Carlito Cash, about the rule change that the NFL teams have submitted to the league. And trust me, Cowboys Nation, there are some interesting rule changes. So let's go ahead and talk about those during this Raw and Uncut. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, Raw and Uncut.
I'm keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
All right, Cowboys Nation, shout out to Carlito Cash for bringing this to my attention because there are some certain rule changes that could impact the game as we know it today. So let's go ahead and watch a quick video on how rules are proposed and implemented for the upcoming season before we get into what teams have proposed what rule changes. Let's go ahead and check it out. At the end of each NFL season, teams complete a survey on player protection, officiating, competitive balance, and technology. Responses inform the competition committee's rule change proposals. Clubs may also submit proposals directly to the committee. The committees meet throughout the offseason to draft potential new rules and review team-submitted proposals. At the NFL Combine, the committee gathers input from active players, legends, coaches, and officials and finalizes its proposals. The committees and team-submitted proposals are then sent to all clubs ahead of the annual meeting in March. At the annual meeting, teams and the committee present their proposals to 32 owners who vote on any potential new rule. Clubs may also propose a new rule directly from the floor. A new rule or revision needs the support of 75% of owners, 24 yes votes out of 32 to be adopted. Some rules are implemented on a trial basis for 1 year only. In those cases, the effects of the changes are reevaluated after the season to determine if they should be made permanent or further modified. And lastly, the league provides training videos and reviews changes with players, coaches, and officials during training camp and the NFL officiating clinic to help everyone adapt. All right, Cowboys Nation. Now that we know how rules are submitted and implemented, let's go ahead and talk about the rules a few teams have submitted for the 2025 NFL season. According to football operations at operations.nfl.com, 3 NFL teams submitted amendments to the rules. The first one is from the Detroit Lions. The Lions have submitted a change to Rule 8, Section 4. This section is dedicated to legal and illegal contact with eligible receivers. Article 4 is incidental contact between the 5-yard zone. As of right now, any team who's called with illegal contact has a loss of 5 yards with an automatic first down for the opposing offense. The Detroit Lions have submitted a change that would not give an offense an automatic first down. It would eliminate the automatic first down and would only be a 5-yard penalty and a repeat of the down. Cowboys Nation, I don't like this rule. I don't like this rule one bit because it takes the discipline away from the defense. If a DB puts his hands on a wide receiver after the 5-yard mark, it would eliminate any accountability on the DB's part. So I think that this rule should stay in effect. The rule that the Detroit Lions had tried to implement should not be passed by the NFL. The next change, presented once again by the Detroit Lions, is to amend Article 17, Section 17.1 of the Constitution and bylaws. They look to exclude from the 90-player limit a player placed on reserve/injured before or on the day of the roster reduction to 53 players unless such player is designated for a return. Cowboys Nation, I like this rule change. I like this proposal by the Detroit Lions because you don't want to have to exclude somebody that's on the injured reserve list if they get hurt before or during training camp. You don't want to have to eliminate them from the 53-man roster, but you want them to be accounted for. So I really like this rule change, and I hope that the NFL does implement it. All right, so the next rule change was submitted by the Green Bay Packers, and I believe everybody in Cowboys Nation knows what that rule is. The Packers look to amend Rule 12, Section 1. This prohibits an offensive player from pushing a teammate who's lined up directly behind the snapper and receives the snap immediately at the snap, aka the Tush push. Cowboys Nation, if you can't beat it, don't ban it. We have to figure out how to beat the tush push by the Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't think banning that play would do anything, and it would give the Philadelphia Eagles bragging rights that you can't stop the tush push, so you had to get it banned. I'm sorry, but there's been teams out there that have stopped the tush push in its tracks, and I feel that each other 31 teams in the NFL should be able to stop it. What do you do when you're playing an online match in Madden 25 and somebody's spamming the 3 plays that continuously beat you? You make adjustments. You make moves in order to stop that, in order to combat that. You don't call up Madden and be like, Madden, I need you to take this out of the game. No. Learn how to beat the damn play, Cowboys Nation. And the third team to submit a rule change is the author of the tush push, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles look to amend Rule 16, Section 1, the overtime rules during regular season play. As everybody is aware, the Buffalo Bills succeeded in changing the overtime rules after losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship. If implemented, the rule would align with postseason and regular season overtime rules by granting both teams an opportunity to possess the ball regardless of the outcome of the first possession, subjecting to a 15-minute overtime period in the regular season. Cowboys Nation, I like this rule change. I like the fact that both teams will be able to possess the ball, giving them a 15-minute window to duel back and forth. If the first person that wins the coin toss gets a touchdown, that other team has a chance to match said touchdown, and whoever gets the next points wins the game. I like this rule. Let's go ahead and implement it. Now, Angry Cowboys fan family, we are going to talk about the 2025 club bylaw proposal submitted by the Detroit Lions. The first bylaw proposal is amending Article 20, Section 20.2 of the Constitution and bylaws. They look to amend the current playoff seeding format to allow wildcard teams to be seeded higher than divisional champions if the wildcard team has a better regular season record. I feel like this rule should be implemented as well, because on the NFC side, you had teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Los Angeles Rams having a higher seeding than a Minnesota Vikings team who was 14-3 or a Washington Commanders team that was 12-5 last season. Those teams like the Vikings and the Commanders should be seeded higher than the Rams and the Buccaneers because they have a better record. I am truly on board with this rule change. Go ahead and get it implemented in the NFL. But one thing that the NFL wants to implement is using virtual measurements instead of using the chain gang whenever there's a first down that's being questioned. How would they do this? By placing a chip in the football while also using 14 cameras, a 14-camera system that would monitor 24 points on a player's body. 18 other specific cameras would be placed around the stadium to get a pinpoint accurate placement of the ball. I don't know how I feel about this one, Cowboys Nation. I don't know if including technology inside of the football would alter the outcome of a game. I don't know how that would pan out. So I'm a fond believer in using the chain gang, and the officials have to be pinpoint accurate. The officials have to do their job. So I'm not on board with this rule change. But hey, who am I? The NFL might implement it anyway. The NFL and Competition Committee is also looking at the rule change I commented on during the 2023 NFL season. They're looking to expand the replay assistance to include certain penalties such as face mask. But there are a few penalties that should be included with this rule change, Cowboys Nation. Penalties like pass interference should be reviewable. Continued holding from the offensive line should be reviewable. Roughing the passer should be one of those penalties that should be reviewed. These types of non-reviewable penalties can alter the outcome of a game. Y'all remember that unpenalized pass interference foul committed by the Rams on the New Orleans Saints wide receiver Tommy Lee Lewis back in the playoffs? That should have been a reviewable offense, and it should have shown that the Rams committed pass interference on the wide receiver from the New Orleans Saints. That should have been overturned, and it should have been the Saints ball with a first down. I am totally for this. Coaches should have the ability to have that red flag in their pocket and be able to review a play if they do not agree with what the call was on the field by the official. These are the amendments brought to the NFL by the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Green Bay Packers, as well as from the NFL themselves. I feel some of these changes could better the NFL, while others should be worked on by the team in order to stop opposing offenses. One rule has to do with discipline from the defense and should not be touched. I feel whatever rule that they implement to better the average fan's football experience or to protect the players is a good thing. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. What do y'all think about the current rule proposals and the rule changes in the NFL? Do you agree or do you disagree with the team's proposals? Y'all know how we do it. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging this content and want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video and please share it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and want whatever rule that's going to better your NFL experience to be implemented, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, draft coverage, film breakdown, or Madden 25 or College Football 25 gameplay. Whatever rules that's going to help the league move forward should be implemented. They're not designed to give a team a tactical advantage, but they're designated for accuracy as well as safety. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.